Good day, managers and bartenders. Rick Vogel from Bar Stars here. Today I'm going to actually go over the disassembling and reassembling of the Taylor 432 drink machine. Let's assume it's the end of the shift. We've already run the product out of the machine. After that, we're going to actually rinse it. Remember to use cold water. Rinse it through a couple of times, get any extra residual or particulates out of the machine. And then what I've already done is I've actually set up, I've got two containers. What I normally do is fill up the large one here with warm soapy water, and then in the second one I just have a cup here that I use for some of the smaller items so they don't really kind of get lost in the cleaning process, okay? So I'm going to start the disassembly now. First thing I'm going to do is take out this pin. I'm going to drop that in the cup, and I'm going to take off all these knobs. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the faceplate off. Sometimes the assembly in the inside comes with it, which it did this time. We'll start dropping all that in the soapy water, okay? If you notice this time the bushing that actually goes into the drive shaft actually stayed in. That happens sometimes, not a big deal. Then we'll pull out the beater assembly, drop that in here, and then I'm going to pull out the drive shaft. In the drive shaft you'll see the bushing just got stuck in there. I'll also take this and drop this in the cup as well. You don't need to actually drop this in the soapy water. What we want to make sure though is we'll take a towel, we'll wipe this, make sure the back end of this where it actually inserts into the back of the machine is completely dry. Make sure it's all clean, and then we'll re-lube this when we reassemble it, and we'll reinsert it back into the machine. So what I'm going to do now is I'd actually would get a brush. We have a cleaning tool that comes with it. You can actually clean the inside of the cylinder out completely, make sure everything is cleaned out of there. Again, you're going to rinse it on the inside, make sure you wipe it dry. Also do that to the top of the hopper. And then what we'll do is we'll go out, we'll wash all this, clean it all up, detail it out, make sure it's nice and dry, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to show you how to reassemble it. Okay, so now we're going to reassemble the drink machine. So what I have here, this is food grade lubricant. You can get this from Taylor. This is the drive shaft. What I like to do is, here's the general rule. If it's black, it needs to get a little bit of lubrication on it. If it's white, it's a bushing, it doesn't need any lubrication. So this is the drive shaft. What I'll do is I'll use the tube and I'll actually dab the ring. If you prefer to use your fingers, obviously we can't just use our anything not covered. You can use a nitrile glove instead if you prefer that method. At that point, I put 2 dabs of lube in the boot. Now I'm going to reinsert the drive shaft. When I do that, I'm going to push and turn at the same time, and what it'll do is it'll lock in. Alright, so now from here I'm going to actually reassemble, putting in the beater assembly. Okay, so what we wanted to make sure is this bushing is on the back of this. Sometimes it does get stuck in the drive shaft, but this actually goes on the back. And then from here, we're going to make sure that we lube this little O-ring that's here. And then when we put this in, we want to make sure that the holes here are going north and south. That white bushing inserts into the back of the drive shaft. So next we're going to put on the faceplate, okay? This bushing, when you take it off and you clean it, make sure the flat part of the bushing here is against the faceplate. This has a back O-ring on it as well. So this gasket, you want to make sure that we touch it up with some lube. Now what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to line that pin up through this hole here in the center of the faceplate. We set this in, wiggle a little bit, put these knobs back on. You want to make sure that you don't over tighten these, because what can happen is it'll crack the faceplate. So don't get a bar towel and start torquing down on it, or it won't be a good day because the machine won't run if this is cracked. It'll leak. It's okay if they get a little bit greasy sometimes from the lube. You can hand tighten them gently just by using a bev nut. And from here, reinsert the pin, and we're good to go.